Hi everybody, my name's Jane. I'm one of the Pure Nails ambassadors. Welcome to our YouTube channel. So today I'm going to do a little spooky, gruesome nail through a nail. This is great for Halloween. You can make the little nails beforehand if you know any of your clients are going to want something a bit more spooky. If not, it's great to just have a little play. So we're going to start with our nail. As always, we are going to use our base coat. Obviously you can use a rubber base coat as well, depending on your client. But just for the purposes of the video, I'm just going to use the normal base coat. It's a nice thin coat of your base. I'm going to go on and cure that for 30 seconds. Right, so that's our base coat done. Now you can absolutely choose any colour for the actual nail. I'm going to go with French white, purely because we're going to put some blood on it. Obviously gel polished blood, but I just want it to stand out. So I'm going to use white. But like I said, you can absolutely use any colour. So if you're using French white, just nice thin coats. And apply it quite lightly onto the nail. Just avoids the streaks if you do it a bit lighter. There we go. I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. Right, so that's all cured. I'm going to give them a second coat. Again, nice and thin with your French white, because it can wrinkle if you put it on too thick. There we go. I'm going to cure that one again for 30 seconds. Right, so that's our actual nail done. I'm just going to wipe the tacky layer off. Just with a lint-free wipe and some of our gel wipe. I'm just going to get rid of the tacky layer. Okay, so we're just going to pop our nail aside for a minute, because we're not going to need that just yet. We are going to work on our little PoliBuild nail, actual nail. So if you get a bit of foam backing paper, so you don't need much, the nail's only going to be quite small. We're going to work on the shiny side of it. So you've got a side that's sort of more matte and a side that's more shiny. So we're going to work on the shiny side. So you're just going to need your clear PoliBuild and some of your PoliBuild liquid control and our little brush and spatula. It's got both ends on this one. So you've got your spatula and your brush end. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a bit of liquid control into the little baking dish. You're not going to need much because we're not working. We're not going to, be using an awful lot of PoliBuild. So just a tiny bit, and then we're going to get our clear. And what I usually do is I dip the spatula into the liquid control. Just makes it easier when getting out the PoliBuild from the actual tube. So like I said, we're not going to need much, so that is probably enough. Pop it on, give that a clean, and then switch to your brush end, and we're going to just make it into the nail shape. So literally we just want a long stem of the nail. And just flatten it down. Doesn't need to be perfect because this is like Halloween, so it don't matter if it looks a bit wonky. So try and have one of the edges, the end, quite flat. don't matter if it's wonky, I'm going to make mine a little bit bent at the top. So just keep fiddling about with it. The great thing about PoliBuild is that you can play with it until you're happy. So I'm happy with that kind of a bent nail shape. And then I'm just going to use a little bit more for the head of the nail. So I'm just going to make a little circle next to it. And just flatten it down so you've got the head of the nail. Again, don't have to be perfect, as long as it's kind of a circular shape, that's absolutely fine. So I'll pop all that to one side. So I'll just hold that up so you can kind of see a little bit better. So we've just gone for that, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and pop the whole sheet into the lamp for 60 seconds. Right, so that's all cured. I'm gonna wipe the tacky off. I'm gonna pick it off just with some tweezers. It is good if you've got any like old tweezers for this. It just makes it easier picking it up. So I'm just going to wipe that off, just get rid of the tacky. So if you get any bits, like there's just a little bit gone over there, I'm just going to literally just gently file that bit off. But if it looks like they're messy, don't worry, because it's a gouty nail. And just do the same on this one. It's just taking the sticky, the tacky layer off of it. It is a bit fiddly, but it's fine. Right, so I'm just going to pop the head down on my mat. So we need to just stick them together. So I'm going to grab a little bit of monomer. I'm actually going to use the Pro acrylic liquid, which sets a little bit faster. Don't need much, although it is quite warm today. So, yeah, bit of clear acrylic. I'm going to use. You can use any colour acrylic; it doesn't matter, because you're going to paint. You're going to paint the nail anyway. So literally, just going to go in. A tiny bit just on the very end of your brush, pop it down onto your nail head. There we go. So we're going to grab our tweezers and just attach it on if it wants to pick up. So I'm just going to hold it in until it sets. Once you've got it there, just push it gently in. And I'm just going to literally give that a minute or so just to fully set hard. Right, so our little nail is all stuck together now. So we're just going to paint him. So I'm going to get my little tweezers and I'm going to literally hold it as close to the bottom as you can. And I have picked charcoal grey. So one coat of this will be absolutely fine because it's quite pigmented. So literally just holding on with the tweezers, just paint on that gel polish so we get like a nail colour. Don't forget to do all the sides and underneath, because you will be able to see it once it's on there. You'll be able to see that underneath it. You don't have to, you know, you can pick any colour you want. This is quite sort of a nail colour. Just check it's all covered over. So I'm going to keep hold on to that with my tweezers, and I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds, just so it gets all the way around your nail. Right, that's all cured, so I'm going to top coat it now. So we're going to get our no wipe top coat, so exactly the same again as what you did with the charcoal grey. Just top coat that. Still holding on with your tweezers. The other side. And again, I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. Right, so that's all cured. We can pop him down for a second. You're going to need your tweezers again in a minute, because we're going to attach the nail onto the nail. Okay, so we are going to get a little bit more acrylic again. Like I say, you can use any colour. I'm using clear. Just whatever you've got, just to attach it onto the nail. So let's get our tweezers ready. So again, just a fairly small bead, and pop it, the bead of acrylic, wherever you want the nail to be going through the nail. I'm going to pop it fairly in the middle. So you have got a fair size bead. Oops. Pop that out the way. And we're going to grab our tweezers and our nail, and we're just going to pop it into the acrylic. Pop it right in, and you're just going to need to hold it. Sorry, you can't see very well there. There we go. Just hold it steady for a few minutes. So you've got it where you want it. Now I'm going to add a little bit more on the back, because it's bending slightly. Need a bit of structure at the back just to hold that on. I'm going to pop a bit more just to sort of strengthen where it's holding up at the back. It is quite fiddly, but it's really good fun. So that's more or less staying put now. It's not quite dry, so I'm going to keep pushing it up with my tweezers. Hold it forward slightly until it's set. I'm going to give that a couple of minutes to fully set, and then I'll show you the next part. Right, so that's our nail all set into that acrylic. So you will see it's got, obviously, where you've had to sort of mould it into the acrylic, it has got a lump. But that is going to be, I'm going to use blood red. So I'm going to paint the blood red all around that, so it kind of looks like where it's gone into the nail and it's all kind of swollen up. So don't worry about the lump of acrylic. So I've got my little palette, and I'm going to pop out some blood red. So literally now all we need to do is put our blood on the nail. So I've got a smallish brush, so I'm going to start and just cover this part. It doesn't need to be neat, so just go around where it's actually setting. So that acrylic. So you've covered all that, and kind of go up a bit like onto the nail, just flick a few bits up so it will be quite good there. I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds, just because it's going to need 2 coats just to cover that acrylic. Right, so I'm going to go over that again, just to deepen it out. So we've got full coverage on that part there. Just all the way around. Right, so that second coat just on that piece of acrylic. Just wipe my brush. So now we are going to take, so we're going to take a dotting tool. So I'm going to use this. I found it's my favourite way to do like blood droplets. You can absolutely do it any way you want. This is just how I do it. So we're going to get a bit of the blood red on our dotting tool, smudge on and up, so it kind of looks like a drip. So just place these wherever you want some blood to be sort of dripping out of that wound. So any kind of edges where you've gone along and you're not happy with where you've gone over that acrylic, you can just use this to sort of tidy it up. Doesn't want to be perfect. Just wherever you want some kind of splodges. A little bit on the back. Okay, so we now have our wound. So I'm going to go ahead and put some blood further down the nail. So splodge on and up, so it looks like a drip. Splodge on and up. Really easy to do it with a dotting tool. Splodge on and up. Kind of like a teardrop, but obviously we want it to look like blood. Put a bit more there. So you can absolutely put these wherever you want. I'm going to put quite a few on because I like it. Then I'll wipe off the larger end. The smaller end, I'm just going to go and sort of flick a few bits on, not neatly because we don't want it to look neat, just into those middle sections there. Just go for it. Here, just absolutely go for it. Doesn't need to look neat in any way. Don't put as much on when you're doing this because it kind of needs to look like splatter. Excuse my stomach. Just light bits where you've put your, you can even go into them and make them look a bit less perfect if you wanted to. There we go. So there's our sporty nail. And that was a bit less neat, I think. There we go. I'm making that. Sometimes you've just got to stop. There we go. So that's our blood spattered nail in a nail. So I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. Right, so the last thing is just our top coat. I'm using a white top coat just over the blood. And if you've got any raised up, just give your brush a little wiggle with the top coat on, which will get into all the bumps. You know, if you've gone a bit thick. So not forgetting that bit up there. Just a bit around the back. And again, cure for 30. Right, so that's now all cured. So that's our gruesome nail in a nail. So give it a go, we'd love to see your work. I mean, the blood, you could always just use that method just to do like a bloody nail if you wanted to. You don't have to go in with the actual nail. But that's all done. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.